Hola, estudiantes. For the second part of the lab, we're going to measure porosity. And as you can see, I have measured out 50 milliliters of my soil, and I have measured out 50 milliliters of water. So porosity is the measurement of the amount of pore space in the soil. So what we want to know is we can measure this by taking the 50 milliliters of soil, the dried soil. And so what I want to do is I want to measure how much water it will take of the 50 milliliters to saturate that soil. So I'm going to pour it in, and as I pour it in, I'm going to be patient with it, and we're going to let this fill up till it is completely saturated throughout. And so for this part, hopefully you move it around, make sure it gets into all the pore spaces. And I may have super saturated it a little bit, but as I move it around, that was the volume it took to completely saturate that soil. I feel like it's wet throughout the soil. Look around, there's a little bit on the top still hanging around. But I think that's a pretty good estimate of the porosity. So now, how much of that soil type did I use? How much of the water of the 50 milliliters did it absorb? I have 15 left. So the porosity is, so that means I poured 35 milliliters off. So if I have 35 milliliters in here, I can figure out the porosity. It's a percentage based on what the available pore space was, 35 milliliters, over what I started with, 50. Let's look at that calculation.